Encountering gifts. Have you ever extended a hand of friendship only to be met with a look of confusion or disinterest? Maybe you felt like you were fumbling over words, or maybe you made a good connection with this person, had a good conversation, but then they seemed to just wander off as though your impact was nothing. Or maybe you've developed a good relationship with someone over time, and then you just don't see them as often anymore, and the relationship kind of dies out. I'm sure many of us have had a lot of encounters with people that we felt were subtle forms of rejection. That can be really tough. And I think, as Pastor Ken's been talking about, engaging and connecting with new people, sometimes those memories, those negative experiences kind of leave a bad taste, and we tend to think, why would I want to put myself in that position on purpose? It seems a little bit too uncomfortable. But what if we could reframe those encounters? What if they could become something that adds value, something encouraging? What if those encounters could be gifts to us and to other people? So today, I've taken the word gifts, and I'm going to look at each letter and what concepts could help us reframe our encounters. The G stands for growth. Encounters grow our understanding of God, ourselves, and each other. These encounters can be one of the most rewarding ways that we can develop our faith, that we can even become more Christ-like. I've been having a look at different stories of the encounters that Jesus had with different people in the Bible, and one that really fascinates me is the story of the Samaritan woman. So we're going to jump into that. If you take John chapter 4, even the first few verses talk about how Jesus was rejected, seen by the Pharisees as a bit of a threat. In verse 1 it says, "Therefore, when the Lord knew that the Pharisees had heard that Jesus made and baptized more disciples than John, he left Judea and departed again to Galilee. But he needed to go through Samaria." And that's a key verse for me. He needed to meet a woman in Samaria. He needed to be at that well at that time, encountering the woman at the well. We come to verse 7 and 9, and it says, "A woman of Samaria came to draw water. Jesus said to her, 'Give me a drink.' Then the woman of Samaria said to him, 'How is it that you, being a Jew, ask a drink from me, a Samaritan woman?' For Jews have no dealings with Samaritans." Jews and Samaritans were enemies, basically. They didn't interact with each other, and even women and men weren't seen in public together. So this encounter is quite unique. But we know that Jesus had to go through Samaria to this place. This is important. He knew this encounter would be a gift. Jesus answered and said to her, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is who says to you, 'Give me a drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." Jesus knew that he was to be a blessing in this woman's life. Encounters grow our understanding of God, ourselves, and each other. How do they help us grow in our understanding of ourselves? Well, it's important, I think, to have some really good questions when you encounter people. To ask them, but also to ask yourself, did I come across as caring, interested in what they were saying? You can ask yourself, what have I learnt from this encounter? What have I learnt about them? What have I learnt about me? What brings out their best? And even if it's a negative encounter, perhaps think, what kind of conflict happened during that conversation? Was it a cycle of complaining and contempt and attacking? Or could you recognize that the differences between you can be assets, can be areas of growth and discovery between the two of you? That's two different types of conflict. The first one is destructive. The second one is transformative. I love the saying, on the other side of conflict is intimacy, and that's what can happen. We can grow in our relationships through what can be uncomfortable interactions with people.